What's going on, YouTube? V here. So one of my favorite videos I love to do around the season, the time, is balance prediction videos. In these videos, I go through a run through of cards that I think will get hit, will get unlocked, and cards that can be played if Konami, took my ban list to heart and made it happen. I like to have a nice, fair, balanced ban list, an unbiased ban list. For the most part, I think in the end of this ban list, I have a couple of picks that I personally would love to see, just to stir the meta up a little bit. But for the most part, I want a ban list that Yu-Gi-Oh players can get behind and go, I like these cards, I don't like these cards. I like to have a conversation. And if you think that there's some cards that I'm missing on this ban list prediction video, comment below. I take it into consideration. If you want me to talk about your ban list prediction video, no problem. Just PM me on Facebook, put it in the comment section of this YouTube video, and my next ban list prediction video could be just your ban list prediction. It'd be the cards that you think can be hit. See, a lot of people like to criticize, but not many people like to talk about their full ban list prediction and the reasonings, and I actually like reading those. I read every single one. It's just I don't have time sometimes to do like a video about what your ban list is, but I think I want to do that a lot more this season, especially since we have, it's, the end of July. We have a good amount of time, hopefully, to talk about other bans, talk about cards, talk about picks, what can be changed to have a nice medium kind of format, what can be done so we don't have you play 3 decks of the format or you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. I like a diverse format, but I like a format that's not only diverse, but it also has a nice variation of skill that makes a player better. Not just, hey, RNG top deck, eat it. I don't like that. So I like a nice variance in my ban prediction. I have the first card over here as Firewall Dragon. You're thinking, V, banned? No, not at all. This is a main protagonist card. Konami doesn't ban main protagonist cards. It just doesn't happen. I think the first time we saw people try to talk about banning a main pro tag card was like Stardust Dragon, and even back then, you're good looking, young, more hair, V, didn't want it to happen because I knew Konami wouldn't ban main protagonist cards. Same thing with Firewall Dragon. I think it should be an errated card. Nobody would disagree. Once per turn, once per turn effects on both effects, totally fine. But don't ban this card. I think it's a horrible idea. Then it dilutes the any other future characters and the cards they're gonna bring out. Or Konami's gonna make weaker version of cards like, hey, it's Karibo. No. We want cards that from the main protagonists that are still around. It's kind of important. And for nostalgia players that are actual players, it's very important. One card I will say that needs to be hit is Cannon Soldier. Now, it does nothing here right now. It's absolutely nothing. In fact, the super rares are little marker watches, like $5. It's not expensive if you want to buy a playset. I think it should be banned. This card can create some pretty bad FTKs. And yeah, if we're getting plants in, or we're getting any other deck that can just FTK and go off, this card's perfect. You can beat your opponent in one turn. This is not a once per turn effect. You can argue for it to be ratted, sure. I don't think it's going to be. I think it should be right up banned. Now let's talk about limited. Cards are just a 1. Terraforming. You can say whatever you want. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players will disagree with me on this card. That's totally fine. I still think Terraforming needs to be limited. For any deck that runs a field spell, it's just basically Upstart Goblin that searches out a field spell. Your opponent gains no life points. That's what it comes down to. And if you want to hurt Tricksters, I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to go, well, V, you got to have a hit for Tricksters. Terraforming is the hit. It slows the deck down. It doesn't allow the deck to become so aggressive in a deck that's more built for control or more built for burn. That's what the deck's not built to be a fast, speedy deck, but unfortunately, that's what the cards out in the meta make it a pretty fast deck. Maybe not in the first turn, but absolutely in the second turn. It's you kill me first turn, or I go off with a couple other cards I'll mention in this video. Terraforming is too good and too degenerate. In Japan, it's limited. The World's Banlist has it out. Supposedly, rumored World's Banlist has this card out as limited. I think Terraforming needs to be hit. I think its time has come. It should have happened in the last ban list. We'd have never had to went through any of this shit. Monty Bone's on the card that needs to be hit. Now, a lot of people are going to be arguing against me with this card, but the problem with Monty Bone is it's top deck RNG mid-game. That's what it is. It's literally it's simple as that. Monty Bone, Rigeki, which doesn't see as much play, might start seeing more play, Soul Charge. That's literally just like, hey, mid-game, can I beat you? Oh, this card says I can. Let me just put that on board there. It says right there, and now I get to do some pretty insane things. I can't play my deck. I play a card that mediates literally the field in a way that, either I take your monster if you went off and didn't kill me, or I play another card like Soul Charge. The reason I'm going to leave Soul Charge on here, because you cannot conduct your battle phase, so you kind of spin the tail back and go, look what I did. Can you do something cool like this? And, sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh players can, sometimes they can. But it makes it for actual gameplay Yu-Gi-Oh. Monster Reborn doesn't allow that. It's the only reason why I don't like Snatch Steal or Change of Hearts, any of that kind of one card take your monster gimmicky horseshit, because it's not fair. Mind Control I don't like at all, but I don't have it on this ban list, by the way, because it's done nothing in the meta. Monster Reborn definitely has. The only Sky Striker hit I'm going to have, the only hit for Sky Strikers in general I'm going to have, is Hornet Drones. Japan did it smart. Now, we could go in here in America and we could hit Sky Striker Engage and kill, and Konami could kill the sales of their sealed boxes of Dark Saviors, or the secondary market getting hit. Sure, nobody cares about secondary market, by the way, but as far as Konami standards, but it still won't be a smart idea. Hitting Hornet Drones means Sky Striker Tricksters cannot play Sky Strikers. It's that simple. Since they cannot play Sky Strikers as easily and combo off as good, Hornet Drones belongs on one deck, Sky Strikers. And I think that should happen. I think Hornet Drones and Sky Strikers in general should just have their deck. When all the meta slow down, Sky Strikers can play in a tier 1 consistent top deck. And I think that'd be really cool. And that's why I think Hornet Drones should go to 1. Up next, Scapegoats. Now, I was debating about Retro 1 Scapegoats. Besides German ones, 277. Buyouts. Listen, Scapegoat. Obviously, this is another card used in Sky Striker Tricksters. And I'm not attacking Sky Striker Tricksters. I'm really not. This card can be used in a lot of other decks and has been used in a lot of other decks. Good job, Konami. Link Mechanic. Tokens can be used. Oh, man, I'm so glad you said that. Everyone went out and bought Scapegoats, and Scapegoats got abused. Now, Konami just recently made their money in Dark Saviors with Scapegoats. They made their money, and Scapegoat secondary market isn't making Yu-Gi-Oh! Players buy packs of Dark Saviors. Konami's done it. They cashed out. So what do you think's going to happen? This card's going to get hit. The only question we can have, the only conversation we can have with Scapegoats is it going to go limited, semi-limited, or banned? In my opinion, I think it'll go limited. It might still see some play, maybe, but not crazily. And it might be like a Soul Charge kind of card, where it's a really good mid-game RNG, but you're not going to just go get it and play and go, haha, I made 4 tokens. Maybe if you haven't, maybe your opponent has like 2 monsters, you have no monsters in the field, like sure. Realistically speaking, you get Scapegoats to set Scapegoats to activate your opponent's end phase, so you can try to go off and murder their face. That's why you get this card. And at 3, it's kind of degenerate. Spellbook Adjustment should go to 1. I know this is where a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are like, listen to me, please. What the hell has Spellbooks have done? What has Spellbooks done? ... Judgment of 1 doesn't do nothing for the deck other than allow casual players to enjoy the deck in a little more serious kind of meta. That's it. Okay, you're not gonna have Yu-Gi-Oh! Players run off and start playing Spellbooks running everywhere. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are gonna play Spellbooks into that little lock. What's the name of that monster? Is he even in here? Where is he? I legitimately forgot his name. Well, the one that locks you down. It's the one your opponent can't special summon. He has like 1,000 defense. Oh, God, I can't believe I forgot his name. It's been that long since I played the deck. Anyway, it's not much happening with Spellbooks. Spellbook of Judgment isn't going to be a card that's going to just go off in the meta and everyone's going to go, oh my God, Spellbooks are the best deck. And it's not. It's just a really good card that was used a long time ago to combat Dragon Rulers unsuccessfully. What is it? What was it? I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 60-40 in favor of Dragon Rulers. I could be wrong. Could be 70-30. But Spellbook of Judgment is still a good card, and I think that should come back. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players can play with it, and it's not going to make the game that degenerate. It just isn't. I don't care what anyone says. You can't tell me in Goki extra link lock, and you're playing Spellbooks, you can just break that extra link and create a board, or turn a tide with one Spellbook of Judgment. It just can't happen. With a Danger Archetype that spans field and controls the hand, you're going to tell me you can stop it with Spellbook of Judgment? A heavy spell deck with Anti-Spell in the meta being at 3, Imperial Order being at 1? I just can't see it happen. I would love to see this card come back at 1, and I would love to see casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Players play Spellbooks. That Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, nobody really has seriously played Spellbooks. It's what? Oh, God, I don't even know how long ago. I didn't have kids when this deck was when the deck was played. My kids would never play Spellbooks in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami. Give them the opportunity. Okay, moving forward, Pot of Avarice. Yeah, it's around Japan. We should have it. Simple as that. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will argue, say V about Gokis. They could really recycle stuff in. Sure, they have the sword, which mediates a graveyard, and this kind of recycles in, so it's kind of weird. The Danger Archetype will probably benefit the most out of Pot of Avarice, and I'm not sure if you know this, but Konami wants it to go that way. Whatever they're new promoting, they want to put cards to allow that new stuff to thrive. They don't want it to be just the only deck at tier 1. I didn't say that. But they want it to thrive, and Pot of Avarice will allow that deck to just thrive a little more. There's a lot of cards that can hurt Danger. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players don't know how to play it right now, and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are confused about some of the card mechanics. I know I am, but it's only a matter of time before we have floodgates for Dangers, and that deck just gets watered down a little bit with this knowledge of the meta. And I think Pot of Avarice will help that deck out a little bit more. Laval Chain should also come back. I talked about this in my market watch not long ago. I think Laval Chain's a great card. I think it's a great card that doesn't really do much anymore. Yeah, you can argue about the Fernie loop, sure. But the Fernie loop was good when we had 0 hand trap. I think we had Effect Veiler and Maxi. Now we got the Ash Ladies. You know, we got all these other Gamma. So I think Laval Chain is a really good card. I think Laval Chain's time is to come back. And it just helps decks set up more. And the funny thing, what I like about Laval Chain, and my next card is the same thing as well, it helps rogue decks become a little bit more stabilized. And I always use my market watches. I try not to. Like I said, I want to be unbiased, but a part of me always wants, if I was Konami, to make rogue deck players very happy. I want to make rogue deck players happy because rogue deck players will now add to the player base of locals, and locals will be bigger now because you got competitive YuGiOh players playing the newest decks, YuGiOh players that played the last meta decks that were the best, trying to get them up to the competitive, you know, up there, and some do, by the way. Draco's done it tons of times. We just saw it with Tricksters. They done it tons of times. And then you got rogue decks, rogue plays that are on like the 3rd tier. That are like, bro, this X rogue deck is gonna go up to the competitive level, and you're gonna be loving it, and it's gonna be amazing. And Laval Chain helps that out even more so. My next card is also Evil Storm Excited Knight. Now, before you get upset about this one, I always say that because there's always someone out there going, I don't think so, and they grab their keyboard and they, you know, all right, and they type away. Evil Storm Excited Knight is a great card against rogue decks. And there's so many ways to stop Evil Storm Excited Knight. Like, if you don't know how to play around this card in the year 2018, I'm sorry. But you really should. I mean, yes, 3 Infinite Permanents is really good against this card. They're 60s each. I understand that. But they are good against this card. 3 Effect Fails is a card in the meta. Just baiting Evil Storm Excited Knight is pretty good. We have Evenly Matched coming at 3 beginning next month. Why can't we not have this card? Once again, I don't understand it. We should have this card already, and I think we're going to have this card already. So if you don't have a secret rare Evil Storm Excited Knight, make it to the 10s. What's the original price? Itchy. The original price is $6 for unlimited. All right, we heard you. $6 for unlimited. Lightning Plate's $8. Sure, get yourself a nice Evil Storm Excited Knight. I mean, everyone probably has the Ultra Deck, but get this one as well. Semi-limited. That's my little markers, by the way. Semi-limited is Maxi. I think Maxi should come back. It's a necessary evil. It's as simple as that. We need this card to come back because it controls dumb decks like Goki's and Dangers. Then you start comboing off. You drop Maxi and you go, cool, let's see what you can do now. And then we just play back and forth YuGiOh via hand traps, via field, and via what can activate in the graveyard. I think it's amazing. I don't like Maxi going away. I hate the fact that it's gone. And I think all the YuGiOh players that wanted Maxi to go away when it was at 1 wanted to come back now at 2 just because of these decks. Just because decks combo so hard. And Maxi mediates that really well. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, you know, your opponent has Maxi, you don't yet have, you know, they have advantage. And I can agree with you to an extent. But not really, because Maxi is a card you just got to play around with. We're playing in a meta right now with Goki's, and your opponent's playing draw against Goki's, and Goki players are still making boards. They're still doing things. And Maxi is just the same thing, it's just a different way. Maxi is no longer make your best board with what you have. You know, as draw is, it's try to make your best board and see how many cards I can draw, and let's see what happens. And that's what I like about Maxi. I think it should come back. By the way, OTs are insane. You get the secret rares, they're cheap. Seer and Graph with 2 other cards I'll talk about. I'm talking a little burning abyss in my ban list. For 2, I want Graph and Seer to come back at 2. And I want Graph and Seer to come back at 2. And I know I have it here, but Dante should be limited. You limit Dante to 1, Graph and Seer could come back at 2. The deck can now be played right now. Putting Beatrice at 3, that's Konami's way of showing us they're setting up for Cherubini coming out in a meta. So now we'll have a ban list almost like the OCG. They have Graph and Seer fully unlocked, but I think 2 makes more sense with 1 Dante and 3 Beatrice. And I know this is a little bit all over the place. And once again, I'll say it again. 3 Beatrice, 1 Dante, 2 Seer, 2 Graph. Burning Abyss cannot be played right out the gate. And with Cherubini, Burning Abyss can come to tier 1 nice and comfortable like a snug glove. And we have YuGiOh happening right now. Up next, Cosmo Dark Destroyer. Should come to 3. It's 3 in Japan. It's doing nothing in Japan. Can we fucking have a Cosmo TCG exclusive Dark Destroyer at 3? It just makes perfect sense. I don't know if it'll come back as a tier 1 deck. I really don't know. But I do know that this deck, if we had 3 Destroyers, would actually see playing competitive YuGiOh. It would randomly come out of nowhere and take random tops in tournaments. It will shut down a lot of decks, and still will have a problem with a lot of other decks. It'll be come back as a very fair and balanced deck. As much people will get upset about that, What are you gonna do with the new Borsol Dragon, Borlo Dragon? What are you gonna do against those cards with Cosmos? It's gonna be really hard to play, but not impossible. And that's what I like about that. I like that for my meta. I like these are tier 1 decks, and here's a deck right here that can fight maybe that deck, and it's okay against that deck, but that deck bodies it. I like that. And I like the tier 1 decks that have just a great chance. Great chance. Sean Connery, the little... Anyway, I like that. So I think that Cosmo Dr. Destroyer should come back. I really do. I want it to be at 3. I will take 2. I'm not greedy, Konami, but I think 3 makes more sense. It allows the Cosmo archetype to be played again in the meta. I just don't think it's going to, but I want it to because it allows Yu-Gi-Oh players to play a cheaper deck that can be played near, not at, but near a tier 1 ratio. Up next, Phantom Sky Blaster should be at 2. You can make an argument to put it at 1, and I won't disagree with you. But at 1, it can be played in Sky Strikers, pure Sky Strikers. At 2, it can be played, it just can't be abused. Where currently right now, it's stealing games. And in this ban list, I'm trying to limit as many of the decks that are out there as possible, while allowing other decks like Sky Strikers, which is that below deck, to go up and be at a tier 1 status. If Konami wants to promote Sky Strikers, which the new card is really good. They're coming out. The one that it's a spell you play. It's 3. Obviously it's unlimited. You play. You move your opponent mill 2 cards, and if you have 3 spells in your graveyard, take all special summon monsters and just reset that board. I like that a lot. But with Phantom Sky Blaster, that's a little bit unfair at 3. I think it should go to 2. In fact, we could argue to go to 1, and I probably won't disagree. Up next, Macrocosmos at 2. What? You didn't think I was going to allow all this craziness to happen and not hurt Gokis? Are you insane? Macrocosmos at 2. Have fun, Goki players. Now, you're going to be like, well, that's not fair, V. You're right. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't fair. In fact, 3 Master Restrict, 3 Anti-Spell. I think Gokis need a card that you put in your side decks when you play against them and you flip. You just go, have a great day, sir. That's what Macrocosmos does. Unless you have the answer, I flip Macrocosmos, you're going to make a pretty bad board. You're going to be forced to make a board and go neg pretty heavily just to get rid of this 1. And I don't think Macrocosmos can be a card that can be brought back at 3 at this juncture, sir. But absolutely should go to 2. In fact, it could be Macrocosmos or D-Fissure. I put both of these in here as semi-limited, but you could choose either or. And yeah, it makes perfect sense. Put one of these at 2, and the Gravy Train's good. That's even better for a lot of other decks if we had D-Fissure over Macrocosmos. But if we want to be unbiased, boom. Also, Danger Archetype, here's a... In case the meta happens and we don't have any kind of way to shut you down, here's the way to shut you down. You just play this against that archetype and go, okay, get to work. That's what I mean. Like I said, I don't want... this is my way of showing I don't want 3 decks being the most dominant. I want this to happen. Also, I like Macrocosmos because if Cosmos came back and they somehow show that they're tier 1, that's pretty good at checking them. So everything kind of comes full circle and bounces around. Also good against Tricksters. Really good against Tricksters. Because, you know... Reincarnation, you can't Reincarnation when you got no targets. Pretty goddamn good. Unlimited. E-Telly. I think E-Telly should come back to 3. Now, I always say this, and I'll say this again in this video. E-Telly is a card that should always be banned. But since it's not banned, I always feel like Konami's thinking about putting it back to 3. And it's been done before. You know, Cosmos had it at 3, which made that deck even more busted. Ritual Beast had it at 3. Pure Psychics were like, oh yeah, this is our card at 3. And it made those decks of the time tier 1 for good reason. Well, there's no good Psychics out right now. I would love that Konami made something Psychics, like an archetype, a revamped archetype of Psychics. It'd be awesome. But with that said, E-Telly coming to 3, it should be really good Yu-Gi-Oh! It should be a good time. And OT E-Telly is gorgeous. If you ever held one or you have one, it's a beautiful looking card. Pantheism the Mark should go to 3. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! players are going to talk about, hey V, what about all these other crazy mono cards? And the Marks are good, but they're not even... Can we argue that maybe they're tier 2 at their best day? And Domain of the True Monks is a great card, but with Danger Archetypes being a thing, yeah, you can't use your extra deck, like Danger. Okay, I just have to beat you down regular like a normal person. And they could pop it anyway. So I think Pantheon's going to 3 doesn't allow Monarchs to be tier 2 anymore. Maybe tier 0.5, maybe. I don't want to give any Monarchs anymore. Like we argue about like 2 Ethers. We can argue about all that jazz. But I like Pantheism at 3 because it doesn't do enough for Monarchs, but allows Monarchs players to go, we got Pot of Greed and searching, you know, Painful Choice mini version again, and the deck still loses, but it's still a nice card in general. Also, I didn't put it on here, but now I'm thinking about it. Where's limited? Where's limited? You know what? We're adding it right now. Vanity's Fiend. I know people are gonna be a little bit butthurt about this one. This card's fucking dumb. So we have Vanity's Emptiness, a card with a... Okay, it's loading. We have Annie's Emptiness, a card with a real limitation, a real human limitation. The limitation of any card that you on your field goes to graveyard. This card's gone. And then we have Vanny's Emptiness on a monster form that just says, I'm a 2400 body, and that's at 3, and that's everyone all gonna ignore, like that's not a thing. Like Burning Abyss can't combo off and end it with a Vanny's Feet on board, or any of these decks on this list that I mentioned before can't do this. Vanny's Feet's pretty fucking good. This card needs to be hit to 1. Just want to throw it out there. Up next, TJ Hyper Librarian should go to 3, because who cares? At 2, who cares? At 3, I love it even less. Divine Wind and Mist Valley is another card that hasn't done nothing since... Oh my god. What was it? It was... Yosenju's? I mean, it's showing it right here, but was it just Yosenju's? Mist Valley Thunderbird? Harpies? Put this card at 3. Who cares about this card? There's similar heritage on the card that's hit that every Yu-Gi-Oh player agrees should go to 3, and every band I want to find a new card that I think should come to 3. My card for this ban list is Divine Wind in the Mist Valley. This card's doing butt at 1. It won't do nothing at 2. And fun fact, little spoiler alert, it ain't shit at 3. Came out Song of Ragnarok. What else came out? Song of Ragnarok and Secret Forces. Super Red. I didn't even know that. Forgot about that. Is that the Hornet and Dragonfly should go to 3? Why not? Are you guys really scared of 300 Dragonfly? They're fully unlocked in Japan, have done nothing since release. And over here in America, we're scared of 300 Dragonfly. I ain't buying it. I would love this card to come 3. I think they should come. I think their time is here. 10-cent Dragonfly and was it like $3, almost $4 Hornets. Sure, this card was $2 by the way, about a year ago. This should come to 3. It's gonna do nothing, but once again. Filthy Casuals, Yu-Gi-Oh players that aspire to be at tier 2 status from casual can now play Inzectors. It's a really good deck for funsies. I think it's good. Anyway, guys, this is my bans. I really appreciate you guys watching my full bans prediction. Please let me know what your bans is. Comment below if you want me to do a video on your bans prediction. Your reasonings. Also, give me your reasonings. Don't show me cards. I want reasonings. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I know I'll probably get like 40 thumbs down and 100 and something thumbs up. It always happens. It's weird. Everyone really wants to get involved, but only with thumbs up and thumbs down. Comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this band. Let me know what cards you agree on and what you disagree on. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Your boy V. You guys have a great day.